Life Evolved is not just a channel. It is a place where humanity attempts to look straight into the deepest questions of the universe. Questions that have no simple answers and no final conclusions. Here, we explore what science knows, what it suspects, and what it still fears to admit. Subscribe and remain among those who witness the boundaries of knowledge expanding in real time. What came first, the egg or the chicken? This question has become rhetorical, almost trivial, yet it masks one of the most profound mysteries ever faced by human thought: how life itself emerged from a universe that was once entirely lifeless. For centuries, philosophers speculated. For decades, scientists calculated, experimented, and argued. Today, we will lift the veil slightly and examine the main scientific hypotheses that attempt to explain the origin of life as we know it. To understand life, we must begin with a dead world. Over time, this led to unending downpours that flooded the ancient Earth. Violent thunderstorms became constant companions of the planet. Water collected into vast basins, forming the primordial ocean, which much later transformed into Tethys, separating the ancient continents of Gondwana and Laurasia. Much time passed before the first rays of sunlight touched the exhausted land after the endless rains. So how did life arise on the dead surface of the planet? Orthodox science suggests that methane, water, ammonia, and hydrogen mixed within the depths of the ancient ocean and gradually transformed into organic matter. Step by step, the so-called primordial soup was formed. What triggered these transformations? Aggressive ultraviolet radiation, extreme temperatures, and countless lightning discharges. This was the explanation proposed by Oparin and his followers. Under such conditions, simple substances underwent metamorphoses and became amino acids, nucleotides, nitrogenous bases, and polypeptides. These components formed the primordial soup from which, very slowly, the first living organisms emerged. They were prokaryotes, anaerobic beings without a nucleus, and the predecessors of modern bacteria. However, there is one problem. No matter how scientists attempted to recreate the conditions that could transform non-organic matter into a living cell, no one has succeeded so far. There are also several less popular theories, including panspermia, spontaneous generation, and the stationary hypothesis. The essence of panspermia, formulated by Hermann Richter, is the assumption that life was brought to Earth from space. In the mid-20th century, this idea was also supported by Swedish physicist Svante Arrhenius. The theory is based on the fact that many bacteria and microorganisms are extremely resistant to radiation, ultraviolet light, vacuum conditions, and extremely low temperatures. Because of this, some scientists consider it possible that life reached ancient Earth during meteorite impacts. A branch of this idea, known as directed panspermia, suggests that a highly advanced civilization intentionally seeded Earth in order to colonize it later. Supporters of this hypothesis point to the universality of DNA and the presence of molybdenum in enzymatic functions, an element that is extremely rare within the solar system. As for the genetic code, variations from the basic DNA formula do exist, but the core structure remains the same. Still, neither ordinary nor directed panspermia has been proven, so we can only speculate. The stationary theory offers a simpler explanation. Life has always existed. According to this view, species have existed eternally in all their diversity, and they can only either die out or change over time. Nevertheless, none of these hypotheses explains the original appearance of life. Where did it come from in the first place? How did planets appear, stars ignite, and galaxies form? And how did the vast universe itself emerge? Perhaps we live in a kind of matrix in which we create reality ourselves. Until answers to these questions are found, Life Evolved will continue to awaken the imagination and curiosity of its viewers. Subscribe, support us, and remember that through knowledge, truth is born.